For all is like an ocean, all is flowing and blending. Touch it in one place and it echoes at the other end of the world. So most of us have at some time or another had this experience of deep reverence for nature, of a feeling that we are connected with everything and everyone on the planet. But how do we act upon this feeling? How do we change our ways from a relationship of dominance over the non-human world to that of care or even partnership? It's fairly indisputable that our current way of life causes enormous damage to the non-human natural world. We are capable of demolishing entire rainforests, polluting entire oceans, and driving entire species into extinction. It is as if most human beings see nature as a kind of giant storage of resources for us to use. How do we develop a relationship of partnership with the non-human world? Animals cannot sit in parliaments, they cannot fight for their rights. Oceans do not protest the plastic that gets dumped into them all the time. So then how do we make sure that their interests are represented? Well, we can ask them.
I care about the ocean because my friends live there with me, and we don't like to swim around in trash all day. We love to swim together in a clean, beautiful blue ocean. And that's our home. It's all of our home. So come swim with us and clean it up, because we spend about every day cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. So we really need your help. And if you can help us clean up the oceans, we'll all be a lot happier and you'll see a lot more mermaids.
Being able to dive down 60 feet and swim with wild dolphins and having that interaction was life-changing. And then swimming upon other wildlife that was choking to death on those plastics that we put in the ocean was heartbreaking. It's really my mission to help spread the word and help other human beings learn how important it is to make a change and do conservation and just do a better job. We can all do better than this. So let's get together. Humans, mermaids, wildlife, let's do it.
Well, jokes aside, even though we cannot directly speak with non-human animals that do not have language, there is a Native American practice that can be helpful in this context. Some Native American tribes have this concept of speaking for the wolf. According to legend, there was one member of a Native American tribe who was named Wolf because of his knowledge of the ways of the wolves. And he was always advocating for the tribe to live alongside wolves rather than exterminating them for their own convenience. And when the tribe made the decision to move to an area that was highly populated with wolves, they did not ask this member. It turned out to have been a great mistake because they were getting in each other's way and the wolves were hunting their animals and putting their children in danger, and they had to move away from there. So it is since then that in meetings of the tribe, there's one person who is designated to speak for the wolf and for their needs. And it's something like this that can be integrated in our very own political system as well. The animals do not have language, but we can designate people to represent the rights of the non-human world. And this idea is explored further in the so-called Embassy of the North Sea in the Netherlands. It's a research center designed to find out how non-human entities and creatures can become full-fledged members of the human society, how they can be included in our political processes, and how their interests can be defended. So they study the life forms of the fish, the algae, and the entire ecosystem of the North Sea in order to more effectively represent it in human society. And their main goal is to improve our relationship to the North Sea rather than just using it. A similar development has taken place in New Zealand, where the river Whanganui has been given the status of a legal person. To the original indigenous population of the Maori, this river has always been a person, a brother, a friend. And it is by bestowing this status of a legal person that the New Zealand government has recognized this age-old practice. So the idea is that we do not own the river has its own standing, has its own rights. Now, there has been great damage caused to this river in the previous decades. Sewage has been dumped into it uncontrollably, and it was diverted for the purpose of creating hydroelectricity. This has greatly impacted the entire ecosystem, and the plant life and the animal life has reduced. So even though this legal language isn't as personal and as poetic as the Maori understanding of the river as a brother and as a friend, it still sets boundaries to what humans can allow themselves to do in this ecosystem. And we can now say it is not us who own the river. It has its own standing. And the Maori too can continue their life form of a very close, intimate relationship with this river, where they feel embedded in this place, a part of it, even identify with it. They say, "The great river flows from the mountains to the sea. I am the river is me."